Give the gift of a delicious burger from Bulldog Burger, a soup and sandwich from Sweet Pepper's Deli, appetizers and cocktails from The Grill, or even a wood-fired steak from Harvey's. Choice is the perfect gift. An all-in-one gift card from Eat With Us.
At Room to Room, there's no need to wait. Black Friday deals are going on now.
Discover our gift shop full of treasures, Peter's Pottery, Votivo, and Tyler Candles, kitchen essentials, and more, all in stock now.
Room to Room Tupelo, where we know there's no place like your home.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
Are you ready for more cold? Well, that's the golden question heading into the forecast for our Tuesday morning. Yeah, if you thought this morning was cold, just buckle up. It is going to be a doozy for the start of our Tuesday. Welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 10. I'm meteorologist Gabe, and that is really the headline of the day is cold, cold, cold. But looking at it in detail in the best way that you guys put it, it's going to be cold as ice cream that bends the spoon. Yeah, we all know that. We've experienced it. Put out a post earlier today and said, how do you tell the forecast without using numbers? And that was one of the submissions that you guys had. So if you have any more to put, hey, tomorrow's another bone-chilling day. Go ahead and put that in the comments below, and we'll probably use that in the forecast for tomorrow evening as well. Very entertaining in all of the cold weather, and that's the heartwarming stuff that we need in this type of weather. Temperatures, they do get better, and better in the form of warmer temperatures. We'll track that coming up in just a moment. And rain chances remaining non-existent for the next several days, but we are tracking that next threat. The unfortunate part is it's in the extended forecast well into next week. So the first 12 don't have any rain chances, and I feel like I need to emphasize with these temperatures, no snow chances either. Looking at that overnight forecast, 25 by 11 dropping to 24 by 2 a.m. And you are seeing that correctly, 22 degrees at 5 a.m. Whew, man, that is a cold forecast. So hopefully you guys are finding ways to stay warm, and of course, getting that warm beverage as well. A cup of coffee, hot chocolate. Hey, we had it at the Maynard household tonight, so I wouldn't blame you there if you wanted to grab a mug filled with some of your hot beverage. I don't know. Your choice is either way a great forecast for it. 27 degrees in Starkville. Dew point's currently at 21 degrees. Oh my word, it's a cold forecast, and continues to do so on the campus of Mississippi State. I know our meteorologist Caleb Edelblut, along with his peers, trying to stay warm there, walking from class to class on campus, as will be the case for those 8 a.m.s on your Tuesday. Oxford, the reporting station is down, but it is showcasing those clear conditions. I see a few stars up there, so that's a big reason why our forecast is getting as cool as it is. That heating in the atmosphere, allowing that to escape and make way for some cooler conditions. And Saltillo, dew points at 18 degrees, current temperature 28 degrees. Roadways, pretty calm as Highway 45 can be, and those winds starting to shift just a bit, currently coming out of the west at about 2 to 3 miles an hour. Now temperatures, as we look across the region, we're talking 25 as our locally lowest temperature as of right now in Holly Springs and there towards Tunica, 28 Bruce, 27 Amory, and 30 down there towards Macon, with 28 in Itala County right there in Kosciuszko. So if we look at the temperature change, this really makes it apparent of why we're experiencing some colder weather moving into our Tuesday morning rather than what we saw for Monday morning. A 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 degree temperature change over the past 24 hours. So we will see that carrying over into our morning commute tomorrow. So go ahead right now if you have any plants that you want to preserve, and don't be like me and leave your tomato plant out for to survive by itself. Go ahead and bring it inside. Or if you do have any pets that are outdoors, bring them inside this evening. If you want to prepare a little area, we did ours in the guest bathroom. So that way we laid a blanket down, put a bowl of water, and we brought in one of the cats that live outside just so they can stay the night last night, and they'll do so again tonight. But beyond tonight, I think we're looking at a much better picture to where they should be able to make it outside. But tonight, for sure, take care of those pets, take care of those plants as we get into this cold, cold forecast. Now, we do have that freeze warning in effect for portions along and south of Highway 82, but even north. I mean, guys, we're going to be experiencing some freezing conditions, but this does expire by Tuesday, 8 a.m., showing that there are better conditions moving forward, and we are grateful for that, because it has been a really, really cold forecast, an abnormally cold forecast for this time of year. A record-setting forecast for this time of year, as we'll see tomorrow morning. Mississippi Live Weather Radar staying on the drier side, nothing of note in our area, and the satellite imagery continues to stay clear as well. Nothing of note in our sky as we continue to stay clear and we continue to stay dry. A little bit of that cloud cover and a little bit of that snowfall still happening out there towards the East Tennessee area. Got that video from my sister earlier on today from Chattanooga. Beautiful sight out there with some of those large flakes falling. We had a few flakes here in North Mississippi, but fortunately unfortunately, no accumulation took place, and we just got to enjoy some of those picturesque flakes. So if you missed out, definitely missed out on a cool sight. But hey, we're just starting that late fall, early winter season, so the potential's still there. But Mother Nature has to run its course. That snowfall transitioning out there towards the east, and we're left with high pressure over our area. Those winds starting to shift as that high pressure inches closer, as we expected to do so heading into the early part of our Tuesday. As you can see, Tuesday morning at 3 a.m. already directly south of us, and those winds going to be the big driver in our forecast moving forward. As you can see, on the east side of the high pressure system, we get what's called a northerly wind, meaning those winds coming out of the north, cycling in those drier and colder temperatures. Whenever it's the westerly or the western side of that high, we get winds coming out of the south, or a southerly wind that's going to bring in some of that Gulf air, which is a little bit warmer and also brings a little bit more moisture to our forecast. Not moisture in the form of rainfall. It can be in the form of cloud cover, and that's really what we'll see heading into our Tuesday morning. Those winds getting a bit breezy as we get towards our 9 a.m. hour. We could see anywhere from 10 to 15 miles an hour, and that really supplies a little bit of moisture to our area despite it being so cold, and we could see a little bit of those partly cloudy conditions as we get into our early Tuesday afternoon. That continues to remain the case as high pressure remains out there towards our east, and there you go. Temperatures are getting better as soon as that afternoon. We're starting at 22 degrees, which is well below what we've seen today. Or we're climbing into the mid-50s, which is well above what we saw today. So we're kind of sandwiched in between those two for our Monday, but we get to expand a little bit on that for our Tuesday. And sunshine remains the theme for the day up in the sky, so going to warm our atmosphere up nicely as we get towards the afternoon. So any afternoon plans, go ahead and do so. Just make sure to layer up in the process. And we're not talking about layer up. We're talking about layers up. Yes, we need multiple layers across our Tuesday to stay on the warmer side, and even some hot hands or gloves. Those would be good too. But we'll continue to break that forecast down coming up in the next 60, so you do have some time to prepare. But let us know down in the comments, how you guys stay warm, and maybe we could provide some of those recommendations to folks across North Mississippi that are heading into a near record-breaking cold forecast. This all coming up on Mississippi Live Weather at 10, coming up in the next 60 live from the Room to Room Weather Center.
I'm your retirement fear, but don't be scared. You're still in pre-tirement.
Does that mean I have more time to plan?
Precisely. This is pretirement.org.
This isn't scary. I'm doing it.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
So we asked you guys the best way to describe this forecast, and I think Elizabeth said it point blank simple. It's cold. And she's exactly right over there in Tishomingo. You can see the frost on the windshield. This is expected to be the case again for our Tuesday. So husbands, if you want to be good husbands, go start those cars early, get the heat going, and then maybe scrape off that windshield if we do get some of those frosty conditions to form. But yeah, we want to have that heat cranked for sure overnight and even for the start of our Tuesday, especially towards those morning commutes. Now, Karen and Marietta captured a great sight out there. We've been talking about these snowflakes moving through the North Mississippi area. And as you can see, decent sized flakes falling, but with the ground not cold enough for those snowflakes to stick. Well, we didn't even get a dusting, nevertheless any accumulation. So fortunately, we got to just enjoy the picturesque flakes without getting the effects of a snowy ground, right? This is the best case scenario in my opinion, and I used to live in Iowa, so I know snowy grounds for sure. Regina and Baldwin also submitting the first that I've seen, crystallifolia or frost flowers of the season. This basically happens when the water or the sap that's in those stems expands because it freezes, and as it expands, it explodes out of the stems and immediately freezes on impact and gets to form these frost flowers right across that area. And so it's a really cool sight to see. So if you're ever walking and you see some of this on the ground, snap a picture of it, send it to us here at Mississippi Live Weather. Such a great sight to see because it means that those seasons are transitioning Hopefully it's not a tomato plant though that's doing it, because, oh, my heart still hurts. I was hopeful we'd get at least one tomato. But next year, we're planting early for sure, and you can count on that. But just a great sight there showing that the seasons are changing. If you're ready for the cold weather, well, it is ready for you. Greenville, 30 degrees right now, already sitting below freezing, but those winds have already transitioned to more of a southerly wind, 5 to 6 miles an hour coming out of the south, with dew points still about 21 degrees, so moisture not as high, but with that southerly wind allowing that to replenish over time. Kosciuszko still out of the west, those winds gusting about 5 to 10 miles an hour, dew points 19 degrees, but as that starts to shift more to a southerly direction, well, then those dew points will climb just a bit. But 28 degrees, my word, is going to be a cold one tonight. Fulton showing those same temperatures, 28 degrees, a very calm area right now as folks are out there on the road trying to make their way home on 22, on Highway 25, wherever you're at. A great forecast for it if you have that heat cranked, because temperature-wise, we're still very cold across the region with 26 in Vernon, 27 Houston, 28 in Boonville, and still the low 30s in Cleveland and Greenville. But hey, you guys will join the upper 20s here very soon. Just you wait. Across the region, you can see temperatures very cold, especially up there towards Huntsville at 29 degrees, especially up there towards Asheville, North Carolina, 25 degrees as of right now, and only getting colder from here. If we look at those wind chills, making it even worse with, yes, 11 degrees in Asheville. Expect, as meteorologist Maggie McCauley is going through that forecast in the morning, for that 11 to be in the single digits for folks' morning commute over there in Asheville, North Carolina. I know we are Mississippi Live weather, but still we cover all the anomalies in the south and the southeast, really all across the nation whenever that's the big story. And that's what we're doing here tonight with certain areas. Very cold here in Tupelo, 23 degrees. So even feeling those feels like values, or feeling that wind chill here in the All-American City, and then 24 down there around Starkville, dropping that a few degrees as well. So this will continue as we get towards our morning commute, with some areas reaching well into the teens. But our Mississippi Live weather radar does showcase that high pressure is the big driver of our forecast this evening. As you see right here towards our southwest, or should I say right behind me, that's what's building more into our area. And as this transitions a little bit more east, then we'll start to enjoy some warmer temperatures across the region. But you kind of get an idea on this high pressure center that we're experiencing, because it is cycling air all the way up there from the Dakotas. That's how deep this high pressure has dug, and that's why we are getting such a dominant cold pattern even this early in the year. So no, this is not something that's typically seen, but as we get into our extended forecast, of course, this will start to even itself out. But out east, you can see the snowfall is starting to accumulate in some areas, but not the case here. We are going to stay on that drier side. As we look at some of that snowfall accumulation, of course, those areas, those deeper blues that are showing up are anywhere from 4 to 8 inches. Let's just highlight in a few of those, because again, this is a big story heading into tonight. 7.4 inches close to Asheville. Charleston, 5.9 inches just outside of Cincinnati, 5.4 inches. So no matter where you're at, it is a cold forecast, but some areas a snowy forecast. But again, not the case here in North Mississippi. We are still dry. I'm actually going to go back to that graphic here real quick, because I want to highlight in those trace amounts of snowfall, because we did get a little bit of those specs here, but if we highlight in those totals, trace amounts. So again, no snowfall that's accumulating on the ground, but we did see a few flakes as we went about the day today. So yes, some of us did get to see that beautiful sight for our Monday morning. Looking at those freeze warnings still in effect until 8 a.m. on our Tuesday. That's in place for Grenada, Webster, Clay, Lowndes, Noxubee, Atala, all the way out there towards Bolivar and Sunflower, and everywhere south of that, of course. But even north of that line, even north of Highway 82, under those freezing conditions once again. So make sure to prepare, and of course, pets and plants and yourself, bring those indoors. Midnight, 25 degrees, dropping into the low 20s around 6 a.m. Those winds calm for the start of the day, but starting to ramp up as the day goes on. Our futurecast showing exactly that. Very little winds as we get into those overnight hours, but watch how we get into those early morning hours, how those start to shift a little bit more out of the south, and that's going to be the big driver in some warming trends moving forward. So 6 a.m., nothing warm about that forecast whatsoever. We're talking cold. We're talking ice cream so cold that it made the spoon bend. Yeah, I'm going to use that all my life now because I love that reference. Low temperatures expected to be 23 in Tupelo, 23 in New Albany, 22 in Boonville, 21 in Bruce, 25 in Greenwood. All I'm seeing is cold. So no matter where you're at, layers upon layers will be necessary, especially at the bus stop. You see 24 degrees at pickup to 54 degrees by drop off. Sunshine expected all day long. That'll warm us up towards the afternoon, but also that shift in the wind making for some warmer conditions as well. So expanding things out right here, what are we seeing across the region? Well, it's going to be high pressure shifting out there towards the east. That'll start to bring in a southerly component to our winds and that moisture and warmer air as a result. If we bring it back in here to North Mississippi, we can definitely see that those winds going to be a bit breezy coming out of the south, so 5, 10, maybe even 15 miles an hour. Some gusts, wouldn't be surprised if it went all the way up to 20. But as we get more into that forecast, some partly cloudy conditions do push in as a result right along the Tennessee state line as we get closer to that noontime hour. So no rainfall, no snowfall, just cloud cover, and even that's very minimal towards our afternoon. So make some plans to get outside, especially towards our afternoon, but do be aware 55 degrees is nothing to be excited about, nothing warm in that forecast, so still have those layers handy even for any afternoon plans. High temperatures, like we mentioned, 55 degrees, but some areas going to be cooler than that with 50 in Boonville, 51 Corinth, 49 Red Bay, and 50 out there towards Hamilton, Alabama. You see out west, slightly warmer, so we're sitting 57 Grenada, 58 Greenville, and 58 Belzoni and Greenwood. Let's keep that forecast going, and we're going to see some dry conditions persist, but those breezy conditions as well. High pressure all the way into Florida as this point, and that's going to be for your Tuesday night. Then we get this cold front that starts to move in right there along the Missouri and Arkansas state line. This cold front, it's almost a pump fake once again for colder air. This is not going to bring any cold air, no rainfall. It's just going to be that shift in the atmosphere moving into that extended forecast, but nothing happening on the ground here in North Mississippi. We're going to stay on the dry side where our wind's not really going to be changed too much. If anything, it's shifting it from a southeasterly wind to more of a southwesterly wind, but still nonetheless, it's going to be keeping those warm conditions around, not dropping our temperatures off too much, and we're not experiencing much, if any, change for our Wednesday forecast or the latter part of our work week forecast. So high temperatures still trending in that warmer direction. We're talking 67 Senatobia, 68 New Albany, 70 down there towards Starkville, 71 Columbus, 72 Kosciuszko, and 73 around Belzoni. It's going to be a much warmer forecast, but not the case for our Veterans Day. Still remember, it's going to be a cold one, re-emphasizing that Tuesday is just going to be a very brisk and bone-chilling forecast. 24 degrees around 7, 54 by 3. We are climbing throughout the day with breezy conditions for our afternoon. So meteorologist Maggie McCauley will have the latest on that forecast coming up on your Tuesday morning, on your Veterans Day morning. I do want to say from all of us here at Mississippi Live Weather, thank you for your service. And for those that have served, if you know of anyone that has served, go ahead and let them know down in the comments that you appreciate them. And of course, we'll give our shout outs throughout the day tomorrow. But we just really appreciate that we get to live in a free country, all thanks to sacrificial folks like them. As we head into that extended forecast, we finally have a good forecast for our veterans to enjoy. As you can see, 69 degrees by Wednesday, 71 by Thursday, and mid-70s return by the weekend. I did say rain chances were in the extended forecast, and as you can see right here, Sunday night into your Monday morning, that frontal boundary that we've been talking throughout the weekend has started to push back just a bit. So we're expecting that timing to be further into the start of the work week rather than the latter part of our weekend. So expect that to really make its impacts by Monday, but we'll keep an eye on this behind the scenes here in the Room to Room Weather Center in that extended forecast. The main thing we need to know, cold for our Veterans Day, but warmer as we wrap up the week with dry conditions persisting all week long. I do want to say that, everyone's talking football. Okay, well, keep the conversations going about football. Love a good football conversation. Who's going to go where? That's the golden question. So, let us know your predictions, I guess, or your football forecast when it comes to coaches. Either way, go ahead and download that Mississippi Live Weather app to stay up to date on what's happening on the wide world of weather in Mississippi. And of course, keep you updated on those temperatures as well. Our meteorologist Maggie McCauley will be live at 6:30, 7, and 7:30 on your Tuesday, tracking through the latest on those cold temperatures and also the latest on some record-setting temperatures. Yes, we do have that potential, so make sure to layer up as you head out the door, but also tune in with your hot cup of coffee to what Maggie has on the latest on the forecast here in North Mississippi. We'll see you back here at 5, 6, and 10 tomorrow evening as well. Until then, stay warm and have a terrific Tuesday.
People tell me how lucky my daughter is to have been adopted. But really, we're the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
1 in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The Health Class Film Guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.